Hello, and welcome to the Severance podcast with no name. I am SailorTortilla. This is my friend Melissa Berne and my friend Andres down below. Melissa has hosted us in the past doing our wonderful House of the Dragon and Silo podcasts. I think this is a better show, but thank you so much to my guests for joining. And I know a couple of you are joining us live, like Chris Dang. Special mention to Chris Dang. Anybody watching this like not live is like, who is this mystery person? But you are the fourth unofficial member of this podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing today? I forgot what happened in this episode.
That's not good.
This is why I watch it on Sundays.
Burger.
I watch it on
What?
Sundays. This is why I watch it on Sundays because
you do.
Yeah, like there's just so many things going on in life, and I'm like, I need to try to like make it stick in my brain as much as I can. So I can wait for Sundays so that I could watch.
Well, you're gonna have to recap this one for me because I remember a school bus. I remember a cliffhanger.
You should watch recap videos on YouTube. That also helps.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just hop on 15 minutes early and recap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can start with ratings, and I want to go first because my rating's real low for this one.
Go for it.
Low for Severance is a 2. I'm giving it a 2. I feel like it was a nothing burger.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I said that's pretty low and pretty bad because I feel like anything below a 3 is not fresh. So
yes,
pretty bad.
Fresh like a tomato.
Yeah.
Do you want to go next, Melissa?
Sure. I just finished watching it like around maybe like 20-30 minutes ago. I was thinking of giving it a 4 because I feel like there are things that happened here that moved stuff forward and that we have things to look forward to in episode 10. I feel like 10 should be like a bombshell, hopefully, because you never know. Yeah. But things happened here that we should see fallout for next week. And I wasn't bored when I was watching this as well.
How fun. I'm going to give it a 3.
Right in the middle.
Right in between what both of you guys did. Yeah, I see both sides, actually, obviously, since I'm in the middle. I do feel kind of like nothing really happened, but I do think that there was a lot of setup for the season finale. I'm trying not to give it like too much credit just for setting things up, even though I know last season finale was amazing. So nice, solid little 3, and I'll await what actually happens in the finale.
I also feel like it was better than last week's episode for me, so that's why I was like, all right.
I mean, last week's was also pretty weak. Actually,
this was a bottle episode. It was like a step up from that bottle episode.
That was the Cobell episode, no?
Yeah. It was the Cobell episode. I mean, I think at least in that one, we found out a major point. We found out a couple of major things about Cobell, but the fact that she created the severance procedure was huge.
It was huge, but it didn't wow me.
No, it didn't. And like I said, I feel like it's because they threw so many Cobell facts at us by the time we got to that I was just drained with Cobell facts. But that was a big thing. Like, you can't argue against that. But this one, I do feel like I didn't really learn much of anything, except for maybe about Bert, if we want to start with Bert and his background.
Let's
do you remember
is Bert a hitman for realsies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
But then his but clarify, his outie or his innie, or was it like both?
It seems to be his innie.
Like, yeah, there's like it's a partnership of he drives them, and then I guess if they're not killed by somebody else, they are killed by an innie version.
See, the innie gets tasked with like shitty things to do.
Yeah,
that's the appeal. That's the appeal.
I like a self. What's that word that we can't say online?
A self exit.
Yes, because we can't get
really.
Do you think it's too? I feel like
for Bert or for who?
Like guilt, like Bert.
Okay.
I kind of see that for him. The fate. He
Was
can't
he
be with a guy he
supposed
loves. He's a murderer. You
was
know.
he supposed to kill Bert, or was he supposed to kill Irv?
Yeah,
He
that
was
was
supposed to
definitely his
kill him, and
task.
he just let him
Let him
go.
go.
Okay, so
Yes. Early in the
you know,
episode, Helly says that Mr. Irving's last name starts with a B, is going to be taken care of. And that's when
mhm.
Christopher Walken, creepy as hell, is sitting in his house. Poor little Radar is just there locked on Christopher
Did,
Walken. What a good
So
boy. Can we just
taken
give a
care
shout
of
out to the dog?
means, yeah.
did the thing that
Take
all hitmen do in movies. You can't kill the mark that you fell in love for.
Yeah. So taken care of definitely meant he was supposed to kill him, not put him on a train and send him far, far away.
I could see that.
I wonder, but then this like leads to like questions of like, were they taking their victims to a place like the birthing cabin? So like was
Seems like it.
Bert taking people in, right? Like you can't get severed like in and out of a car, or can you?
No. Oh, I
Not
don't
at
know,
this stage.
but probably not.
Mm.
But I wonder if they have like an assassination cabin. Why not? And
Geo said
also,
I need a 2-hour season
I agree,
finale.
Gio.
I believe it's going to be like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll look into
something
that
like
if you
that.
guys want to. If you
I
guys want
think
to
I,
talk, well,
I think I did see it as hour 15. It's
72
already set up.
minutes.
And it's called Cold Harbor. Are we finally going to find out what the fuck that means?
I
This
think
file
so.
that
definitely
if he finishes, she apparently
dies.
dies. What?
Confirmed. It's been confirmed. She's
Well,
actually
then
going to be
Lumen,
dead.
I thought that like Lumen in their twisted way thought that like they're doing things for, I mean, they're like doing evil things, but you know, like it's for the greater good, the classic evil bad guy thing. But like if you kill her,
Well, I think they are doing some kind of experiment with like her death that is going to help them solve a human problem, I think, or just solve a problem for like Lumen and the Egans, and you know, where there's all kinds of theories about that, about bringing it back Egan and all that stuff.
Every
Yeah, an
episode that
hour and
goes
15
by.
minutes is next week's episode.
all right.
Amazing. That's
It's
what we
gonna, like,
needed. I thought it was
fly
going to be
by
this
like that.
episode. But like every episode that goes by, I oscillate violently between they are doing body switching to back to no body switching. Now with
What
stupid
if?
Egan and his
What if?
eggs.
The
What if?
eggs, huh?
The eggs were being severed. But to finish off with Bert,
Yeah.
I was watching season 1 again, and I don't know if you guys remember that Irv and Bert were together. They were in private, and Bert wanted to have a kiss, a little smooch with Irv, and Irv wasn't ready, and they touched their foreheads together.
Oh,
That's exactly what they did as
at the end
outies.
here.
There is some kind of bleed through.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, they did it as innies and then now outies. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Ooh.
And that's because Irv was saying, I'm ready. He was saying the opposite when he was an innie. So
Mm.
I don't know if it's that, like, I have a feeling that Irv's chip is old. Like, I want to say, like, his chip is not as functional as perhaps Mark's, right? Like, Mark doesn't remember his wife. Irv remembers the hallway. I think maybe they'll tell us something about the chips. I don't know. I have no idea what's coming. But that's exciting. And I trust the filmmakers, which is different than like other shows. What else about Mr. Burt?
Bert and Irving.
It's a tragic
I do believe in this. It really is tragic. I do believe in this love story. I buy it. I buy it
Yeah,
so
I like it.
much.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the head touching thing. I like that you mentioned the bleed through and like how, you know, fundamentally like it shows that they are one person, innie and outie. Because I did feel like in this episode, it almost took a stance for a second that they are different people. Like the Dylan storyline
Dylan thing
is getting so intense of like it's a legitimate love triangle. And the innie really does see himself as like separate from the outie. He almost hates the outie. He's like, I know I'm not that like that loser. Forget about him. And I know I'm just an innie, but I was like, this is too much. Like this is too like I feel like it's taking too much of a stance. So I do appreciate you bringing up the the bleed through between Bert and Irving.
Did you guys notice that he had the same reaction? Oh, Melissa, go ahead. I
Go
cut
for
you
it.
I
off.
always felt it was like it's just like a different part of their personalities. Because like
Mhm.
the wife is like he reminded me of how you used to be, which is like so
Mhm.
heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah.
It's like that man is still somewhere in him. We're just like different people at maybe at different phases and points of our lives. So it's like it's
Mhm.
different but yet the same. It's complex.
I
Yeah,
think
like
it's all
they're
about the
just
memory. Like he doesn't remember being there. It's like he wasn't there. It's like if someone was like having a conversation with you when you were asleep.
Mm.
Sometimes you answer, sometimes you don't. I don't know if this happens to you guys. Apparently, I answer questions in my sleep.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think so, but that's interesting.
It's terrible. But
yeah, I was scared
Dylan,
about the dog too, Gio. I was like, they showed a dog. If they kill a dog, I'm quitting the show. I can't take
it
it.
was it was it was the slow like dog
Yes, that was so
back.
creepy. For a moment, I was like, is this a show
Did
that
they
has like a
sever
dog
him?
shifter? Are we gonna have
Did they
supernatural
sever the
ghosts?
dog?
Are you gonna shift into a human? Because the dog was so still and it looked like it knew, like it was looking. I was like, what's going on right now?
If Scooby did that to me, I would freak out.
I would freak out. It was very creepy.
But Dylan, he had the same reaction as an outie and as an innie, which was to quit his job to this
That's right.
news.
Yeah.
So he is the
Oh,
same.
I
yeah.
thought that was very interesting too. I was
I
like,
didn't clock that. Thanks for telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
is he gonna like? Is there some like primitive urge that like transcends the innie outie thing where he's like, I'm gonna quit my job today, and then he like goes in there and his innie's like, I'm quitting my job. Like it was kind of crazy that he both his innie and outie want to quit now.
But
That
now
is
I wonder,
incredible.
like, what's the bleed through for other people? And then there's like Helly, who for this episode, I thought Helena was on the severed floor. I totally thought she was like, today's the big day, so I'm just gonna go and be a spy. Apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not a thing. But we did see where Jaime Egan and presumably Helena live together in a very, very strange house.
Yeah.
In the middle of snow, but with a pool and heated windows. Rich people shit.
It's a city of always winter. I have never not seen snow in this show.
I think the whole show takes place over a month, by the way.
Yeah, I was
There was
wondering
one
what the
point.
timeline is.
Oh,
Yeah, there's one point where
Hmm.
I think it was like
I don't know.
Natalie in
Time is
season
another
one.
question in this show.
Yeah, I think she said there were 3 weeks to the end of the quarter, and we know that the end of the quarter is now. So I think the
Oh,
whole show is just taking place over a month.
Hmm.
crazy.
But
In years.
I like also speaking of Helly, I like that she is now kind of like stepping in the Dylan role and take in like trying to figure out the map. I guess that Irv left and trying to figure out how to get to the dark hallway. So hopefully we see more from that for the next for the season finale. I like that. I like feisty Helly. She's so like take charge. I like her a lot.
me too. Helena sucks. I like Helly.
Helly,
Great acting though. Every episode I'm like, oh my god, these actors are
wonderful.
incredible.
Everybody
Only in
deserves
this
an
show.
Emmy on this show. They all deserve it.
Really, except for James. James is so weird. I mean, maybe I don't know. Like that guy just shows up and just says the weirdest things. You tricked me, fated Muppet.
Yeah. So what was that about at the end? You guys think? I mean, it's a big cliffhanger.
Refresh.
What did
Who?
she trick
What are we talking
him?
about? Who tricked
James
him?
shows up on the severed floor in the darkness and tells Helly, "You tricked me."
At the end of the episode.
Oh, the dad.
Mhm.
Which I thought it was interesting that he called her Helly and not like Helena.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I don't know if Helly
But
is like
I
her
don't-
nickname.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
But that is Helly down there, right?
That
Like,
is Helly.
in this
It's just-
episode,
I don't know, 'cause
yes.
he seems so stoic and whatever, like a very rigid, stern father that I'm surprised that he's using a nickname for her.
and to be fair, last time he saw Helly and not Helena, she did trick him.
She did. She was pretending. So maybe that's what it was.
Could be.
I just
about
keep
that,
thinking
I
about
guess.
the eggs. I wish he would take them raw. What does that mean? If it's
I don't
not
know,
a
but I
body
did like
switching
that.
thing.
Because somebody mentioned that one of the ancestor Egans ate raw eggs.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Oh my gosh, you're
did
right.
like
It
the
was in
thing that
season
cuts the
1.
eggs.
That was
I
very
want one of those
yeah. It
machines.
was
Yeah.
because it was so precise, but everything
It's
is
very
so like
satisfying.
precise about this set design.
Yeah, and then even the plate had like a child being pulled away by two different people. Is that like an innie
Yeah.
and an outie?
Yes.
And they're oh yeah, right. Like everything in the show is so purposeful.
Everything,
It's
yeah.
great.
Everything has a purpose. It better have a purpose.
Symbolism everywhere.
We're seeing Eustace Huang. Her name is very masculine as a first name. I was so confused. I was like,
Eustace.
is that your dad's name?
Yeah.
She's gonna go to the empathy camp somewhere in the North Pole.
And
Right?
I don't think an empathy camp is to build empathy. I think it's to break it out of you and
Ooh.
take it
Really?
away.
She
'Cause it
seems
doesn't.
kind of
Yeah, she doesn't seem
already
too
though.
empathetic.
She's not very empathetic already. She has
I
no
don't
empathy for
know.
the innies. She doesn't think of them as people. She thinks of them as like sub people.
She did say that.
Yeah,
But in
it's
this
like
one,
treat
she
them like what they are.
apologized to Dylan. She wouldn't apologize to someone if she didn't think they were a person.
So maybe she'll have some more like conflicting feelings perhaps as a character, but I thought she was pretty creepy character child actor there for a minute because
I felt bad for her in this episode when they tell her your bed is being taken from your parents' house and taken to this place and the short bus comes to get her. She might be little. Her character's age might be like 14, like really small.
Yeah, I've always thought that she was around that age.
she
Yeah,
looks
because I know the actress she's in college.
Mhm.
She's like
Oh.
18, I think.
So she just looks a little younger.
Well, she's a little baby, but like no going to visit home in between. It's just like, all right, on to the next thing. You're the next Cobell. And I like that you brought that up because I had so many issues with the last episode, like even existing, that now without that episode, we wouldn't really understand what's happening with Miss Wong. What's going on with the Egan head? She smashed her toy.
Yeah.
I wonder if Milchick just made her do that. Or it really
No.
is part of the
It's like a rite of
ritual.
passage thing, right? Yeah. Milkshake is very interesting because there's moments where like I hate him, and then there's moments where I feel happy that he's standing up for himself, like in this episode. Okay, because
there's something visual.
Yeah,
they did something in this episode when he calls Mark, and Mark tells him, "I'm not sick. This is just about work-life balance. Don't you get it?" Physically, Milkchick turns from facing one way to facing 100% the opposite direction. And I know that's like filmmaker language. Like that man has never thought about not work. Like his mind is broken by this news. Like, don't work-life balance, right? Milkchick does not get that. Milkchick is looking at a picture of an iceberg, trying to be cold. And he gives Mark a pass. But then he tells Drummond to, what was it? Eat feculence.
Oh, yeah.
Devour feculence.
Devour feculence. There you go.
That was beautiful.
It was
great.
him. It was great because I just hated that because like Drummond kept telling him to repeat himself again and again, but it's the same thing he did to Huang. So it's like, it's like you're making me conflicted, dude. Milkshake. Because I still have that scene in my mind from a couple episodes ago where he told Gemma to go back downstairs. So he's like part of this whole like system that's kind of making her life a living hell. But then like you see a scene like this where he's telling his boss to basically to go fuck himself because it's like, it's not my fault Mark isn't here, it's your fault. You're in charge of the outside. So I liked that scene that he was kind of like standing on his ground because he's the manager of the severed floor and that's where his job ends. Don't ask me to do more than that. Okay. I'm gonna do my job the way I want to do my job. So I appreciated.
Yeah. Everybody in Lumen is guilty to a certain degree. I do think Milchek and Huang and obviously Huang and Cobell are like, child labor people, it seems like. So I guess you got to feel a little more bad for them.
They don't know any better.
But they're all pretty evil. Which brings us to Cobell, right? Like
Cobell.
The hell's going on with that?
So do you mean the line when they went to the birthing center? This is one of James.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? What?
She
So
was like
when Mhm.
basically implying that that Devin was pregnant, and they bring like the mistresses of James Egan in there to like give
Give
birth.
birth.
Like
Mm.
they have done that before, and there's like a code for doing that. So I guess that's a
Mhm.
thing. And then
do
there
you know
was
what the code
also
is from?
something else. Yeah, I saw it in a recap. I didn't know it
It's from the
intuitively.
Twilight
That would be
Zone.
crazy. Yeah,
It's an
Twilight Zone, a
episode
specific episode. Yeah, if you want to go.
Yes, it's an episode where a store mannequin is given life for a month, and she can go about the store and kind of pretend to be a human, and at the end, you realize that the mannequins are all switching out, like, one by one by one. Her name is mentioned in that part where she's like, "Oh, this is her name of the character from the Twilight Zone," and yeah. Cobell, what did she do in this episode? She stood around. She stood around in the snow. She said, "We have to wait until night." I totally relate to Mark, totally not wanting to do this still,
Yeah.
but this is their only choice. Cobell's the one who confirmed that Jem is going to die for us
She
in
said
this
if the
episode.
trial gets done, which it's at 96% right now, people, if it gets
Hmm.
done, then she's as good as dead. But we don't really know what that means, right? Like dead as in literally dead, or like her mind is dead, or like one of her severed minds are dead. I don't know. I have many questions. Or maybe I'm overcomplicating. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I want to know why.
I
Why
guess
is she
like
going to die?
back on the topic of Milchek and Huang and stuff all being like kind of evil is like, do you trust Cobell? Do you
No,
trust
I
any
think
of what's going
Mm-mm.
on right now? Even like where
no.
she brought them and all this
She
stuff?
can
Like,
go either way, I think.
yeah,
She has
it's
reasons to
kind of
hate
crazy.
Lumen, but then she's so Lumen because she was a child labor. It's like, what else do you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, what is she gonna do and for what purpose? Like, okay, I get it. She has been wronged by Lumen. They stole her design. They kicked her out unceremoniously. What is she gonna do? Tell them how to get to, I guess, how to get to the exports elevator. But also, what then?
I don't know. I was really hoping with like what they were setting up about her creating the severance procedure and being like so um like behind like the medical process of it that she was going to finish Mark's reintegration, but I'm a little thrown off with it now that she just like took basically did Devin's idea to a T, by the way. Devin's idea like 2 or 3 episodes ago was let's take him to the pregnancy thing that I
Mhm.
saw once and maybe his innie will like just appear. And it worked.
Mhm.
I thought Cobell was going to reintegrate Mark as well. And that reintegrated Mark would go back to the severed floor and do whatever's going to happen in the finale. Now it seems like her idea is to give him the Glasgow block. So Audi Mark goes onto the severed floor. That seems to be what the plan is. I
Really?
don't know what they're going to tell any Mark. I desperately want to know. They really did leave us on a cliffhanger. I thought this was going to be the episode that was
I don't
72
know.
minutes long.
I
I'm
thought they
glad
were
it's
gonna
not.
like basically interview any Mark now to like find out more about Cold Harbor
Yeah, like
and
what he knows about Gemma.
like how to stop it. I
Mm,
don't know.
I don't know.
Like, tell him, "Don't finish the file.
The
Just don't do your job."
reintegration
I guess
whole
so.
storyline has confused me a lot this season. I'm not gonna lie.
This is different
Yeah,
from season 1. Season 1 kinda
I
ended with, like, a big event that we knew was gonna happen, that they were planning for. This one's
But
like,
there's
"I
but
don't
there's
know."
times that I don't even know. Like, okay, what state of mind is he in this episode, and then that episode, and then it's like I'm wrong, and it's like, oh
You
crap.
mean
Like,
Mark?
yes.
mhm.
So reintegration has confused me this season.
All I know is that Mark is sad and upset. If
Mhm.
someone told you your dead wife was alive, you would probably lose your mind as well. Like, I just see him as unwell in general.
Yes.
I think it's also one of those things where like we had such high expectations on the episode that ended in a cliffhanger of like seeing Mark getting reintegrated.
Mhm.
I We should have seen it coming a little bit, but we really didn't think we were gonna get strung along
No,
like the whole rest of
No.
the season
did
with the
not.
reintegration thing.
No,
Yeah,
I
we're
was
really
impressed that they did it early. I was like, oh, okay, where are you
but
gonna
then
go
they
from here?
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna fall off this cliff. when they were waiting for night to arrive, I thought he was going to have one of these moments where he thinks he's on the severed floor and literally walk off the cliff.
No, I didn't think that.
Yeah, you keep thinking Mark's gonna die.
I just have a feeling.
He's the main character. They better not.
Maybe eventually, but yeah, right now it just doesn't make sense because there's too many
Questions.
Yeah,
It's too important.
too much of the plot is tied behind
Him
him.
and Cold Harbor.
Yeah.
I really think that Helly is going to take over Gemma's body somehow, and James is going to take over Helly's body, and they're just going to, and then Gemma's going to be dead because she's dead, but her body is going to be alive.
Jane, is that the father?
Yeah.
James is going to take over who, you think? I've heard some people say, like, I think Helly is going to take over Gemma for some... I don't really understand
we don't even
the
want to be
thinking
in our
here.
own bodies. Now we don't want to...
Why would Helly want to be Gemma?
Helena would.
Helena
wants love.
Yes.
If she is in Gemma's body and Mark doesn't know, Helena,
so this is like a recent plan that she's come up with.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe all of it's a manipulation of the Eakins, but maybe James did this.
Maybe the plan all along was can we switch bodies? But now, like, Helena wants to tweak it a little by putting her body in Gemma's. Like, she's trying to change up the plans, maybe, because now she's like in love, even though she assaulted someone.
I feel like we're getting so close. We're just like throwing out so many things. Like, I don't know.
I think everyone was a Titan all along. Everyone's a Cylon, the answer.
People of the future, drop your theories in the comments.
What is going on? I feel like this whole podcast has just been us going, great show. What's happening? I wish I could come and have answers. I don't. I listen to the official Severance podcast, and all I know is that Ben Stiller thinks Adam Scott has a great head of hair, and Christopher Walken is an absolute riot, and also Patricia Arquette is a little giggle machine. They had Natalie on the latest episode, and Natalie was lovely. This is one of her first gigs aside from a Crest commercial.
I hope she gets...
Really?
That's all I can tell you.
I hope she gets... I was thinking about that. I hope she gets work after this offer to her because she's so good, Natalie.
She looked... I never looked into like if she had done anything else, but I always thought she looked familiar. I always assumed I had seen her in something else. Maybe it was a Crest commercial.
Maybe.
Perhaps that's the appeal of her. Like maybe she just has one of these like universal faces.
Does have a great smile.
She has incredible control over her eyes.
Her eyes, like, the eye acting is kind of incredible. You should be doing more things, please.
I did see a good theory, and maybe like we've kind of gone down this road, but somebody talking about how like the board, since she's like the only one that can connect to them, might be like consciousness of like past Eagans who are also trying to be put into new bodies, which is part of the severance procedure. But she can still contact their consciousness since it's uploaded somewhere. Yeah, it's pretty good. Kind of puts together a few different things that we've talked about.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at that because like I want things to make sense by the end of this.
Yes.
All the world building.
It would be great if they made sense in a way that like we didn't see coming, but that's a lot to ask for, I guess. So
yeah, because like
I feel like we don't know.
Where, like, but this is the kind of show that like asks if you're gonna draw things out, like you're gonna have a million people watching this. Someone's gonna get it right. Someone's gonna get it right.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Yeah. And I saw an interesting comment from someone because he's watching Severance and he's really enjoying it. But he was like, I asked myself, is this show good or am I just trying to figure out what's going on?
Oh, like Lost?
Kind of like Lost back in the day.
I think it is good, but there is like the worry of like if what's happening ends up being stupid, it could ruin it.
Yes.
You know,
the ending of something is so like it's what people take away with them is like they remember how things end.
Especially if it's like this much of the show is hanging on like mystery.
Yeah.
Like mystery is so much of what keeps you watching.
Mm-hmm.
Then it needs to like deliver.
Yeah. I
But
think
it is a good show. Like it's well done. It's got great acting. The pace is really good. The plot development. I mean, I think it has slowed down in the second half of season 2. But what we were saying for the first season and a half is like this show gives you more than any other show on TV in terms of like answer. Um, but we thought it was gonna like kick into overdrive with the reintegration, and it did slow down there. So that, if
yeah.
anything, has been
That's the
what's
plot
been
twist.
disappointing.
That's
But
the plot twist.
it I don't want to have too high expectations for the season finale because I
Yeah.
think the season 1 season finale was like the best season 1 season finale I've ever seen on like a show, perhaps. So I can't like reasonably expect for the season 2 finale to also be the best season finale ever, but I do hope that it does need to like wrap the season up really intensely because the last couple episodes have been a little,
But a little
you know,
shaky. A little
weak.
shaky.
I don't think Apple would let us down so terribly. They've been so careful and so thoughtful in the writing and the design of the whole show. I think whatever's going to come, and I say this, I keep bringing up Evangelion, guys. I'm sorry, but like in Evangelion, half the fun is not knowing what the hell is going on. And then when they tell you what's going on, you just have more questions. So I'm kind of used to this and I kind of
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, you're used to it.
Um,
I think it depends on the kind of viewer that you are and how
mhm.
you like to consume content.
Yeah, like, do you wanna be an active watcher or a passive watcher? And I think this show requires you to actively, like, connect things on your own. Even when they
Yeah.
spell it out for you, you're still there going, hmm,
I think what it's
hmm."
done a good like balance of is giving you answers, but then the answers create like new,
More
more
questions.
interesting questions. So you're like satisfied, but you still want to watch and learn more.
And there's one answer I didn't want that I received, and it's that stupid man, the dentist guy, is still alive. He's got a little Band-Aid.
Oh yeah.
Hate that guy.
I
Is
never
there?
thought he was dead, but
I didn't think he was dead either.
Yeah, TV shows like to, like, pretend like head trauma is totally okay. Like, in real life, like, you get a few concussions, like, you're kinda
yeah,
cooked, man. And that couldn't have been his first time either. Like, if he's been
he's an
managing
older guy
Gemma.
too.
Mm.
I'm sorry?
He's an older guy too. But
Yeah,
you're
it's
right. Head
true.
trauma in television and movies is a different injury than like if somebody
Bonked you.
hit like my 70-year-old grandpa or whatever, like
I don't think he's
that I'd be.
70.
You don't think he's 70 yet?
How old is that
Might be right
guy?
around there. I don't
Do we
know.
even
He's
know
in
his
his
name?
60s for sure, at least. The actor.
No
I'm
idea.
just
How
typing
old
in
is he?
Severance dentist actor. I think his name's Robbie something.
Robbie.
Robbie Benson. Robbie Benson. How old is Mr. Robbie Benson? Maybe I'm like totally wrong.
He's at least in his like back half of his 60s, I would say. 68.
Oh,
Are you locking it in?
looks good.
No, I googled how old is the guy who plays the
This
actor
is
who plays the
69.
dentist.
Sorry, hold on.
Where'd Melissa go?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he just turned 69.
I mean, I thought that was a guess because
Now
it was very good.
my innie just entered.
Yeah, what happened?
My innie just.
All right.
I have to turn on the fan. I get hot whenever I do a live show. I don't know why.
I think
Yeah,
your
I do
mic
too.
disconnected, by the way.
Yeah.
I think something else is picking up your audio.
Of course.
Oh,
Oh,
well, now
I
it
think it just
sounded
wasn't
normal.
pointed at your mouth enough. But yeah, see that guy's 70. If he got hit in the head, that would be like the
Pretty
whole
serious.
family would have to show up and they'd be like, what are we doing with grandpa? Who's taking care of him for the next however long?
It said lumens like you get
But
one
instead he's like
Band-Aid.
one Band-Aid, yeah. Yeah.
And
I
no
don't know.
one's
It just made
watching
me
the
think
other
of
indies.
Novocaine, that
Hmm?
movie that just came out.
That was fun.
Oh, I don't know that
Because
one.
I was really I don't know. I'm getting older, I think, and I was the whole
You're
time
not
just
that
like
old. You're still
watching
young.
it. No, but okay, like if I was 12 years old, I would have been like, oh, that's so cool. He can't feel anything and he's fighting. I wish I had that. But now I'm like, those are real injuries.
Yeah, that movie
Stop doing that. It's not a good idea.
That movie requires a lot of suspense and suspension of disbelief because it's like
Yeah. Like I'm pretty
it should have been in
have
a
a
hospital.
thing, like an empathetic thing of like injuries specifically. I can't watch people get injured.
Oh, okay. Well, and it's
Yeah.
gorier than what I thought it would be because there's like some scenes that are pretty like intense and gory and bloody.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool. It's got some cool scenes, but it
It's
Wow,
wasn't
this movie
totally for me.
literally just came out Friday.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was a fun
All
watch.
right.
I gave it 3.5. I definitely enjoyed it more than Mickey 17.
Oh well, I mean that movie was just bad.
I haven't
But
seen it. I still want
Novocaine,
to.
maybe like a 3 out of 5. I don't know. But yeah, that's same feeling of watching an older man get hit on the head and just
I
need a
wanted him
Band-Aid.
dead. I wanted him deceased.
Bloodthirsty.
Now he's just gonna infiltrate their plans in the next episode. Creepy dentist guy. An evil nurse. Man,
like
Lumen is just bad people.
Is the dentist in love with Gemma?
Love is not the word I would use. I would say infatuation.
Mm.
But yes. But I don't know. Remember he told her to tell him that she loved him?
I forgot about that. Ew.
Ew,
Yeah,
I
I don't
know.
remember that detail either.
It was something like say I love you or goodbye sweetie or honey or something.
Ugh.
And it was icky. It was in the room where she writes the Christmas cards.
That is icky.
And do we think we're going to see more of Irving in the next episode, or he's just going to go and accept that Lumen is going to kill him?
That's a
What
great question. Like
That's a-
Irving and Bert, is that where their storyline ends?
I'm gonna stick to my fun theory that Bert ends himself.
You think so? Did you say that your
I mean, but
fun
he has
theory?
his life with his husband and his beautiful
Fun
house
because
and his
it's a theory,
well,
not because
yeah.
of the self annihilation.
With
I
that
never-
house with all those things, no.
Fun because I never really come up with theories, but I was like, "Ooh, what if this happens?" Because his life just sucks.
Yeah, I guess he may
But
have
Fields
to
is-
answer if
Do
he
we
was
not
supposed
like
to.
Fields?
Fields?
Fields, the
His,
husband.
Bert's real husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen,
He's fine.
he's no longer in love with his husband, right?
It's been a long time, huh?
They're
That's
not in love.
Sometimes that's what
sad.
it turns into.
They're not in love anymore. He fell in love with
Hmm.
someone else. Even his Audi did.
I'm not even sure if his Audi's in love with Irv. I think that might be well,
I mean, they did the head thing.
He let him go.
they did.
The head thing, like he opened up about stuff. Love connection. Movie rule.
Yeah. Well, because
Them's
they
the
also
rules.
said like that Bert a few episodes ago when they did that dinner, they said that Bert's Audi obviously has a lot of, darkness in his past and didn't feel like his soul could be saved, and that the innie represented like his last chance at like something better. So I think that's where like the connection and the love comes from. Is like Irv represents, a particular love and a particular peace that his Audi has never experienced. So there's that. But yeah, I wonder if he will have to answer to the people at Lumen for letting Irv go.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I suspect
question.
it would be Drummond.
Mhm.
Sorry, Melissa?
I said that's a good question. If he doesn't self-exit, maybe he gets exited.
Yeah,
That's what I think. I think that's more
might.
like it. I think Drummond is going to show up. But does Drummond seem I think Drummond would totally murder someone without even being severed.
Yeah, or they just have guys for that, like the dude
The
that
driver.
Cobell saw.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
muscle that was about to do something to Cobell that she like.
Yeah,
ran
she
Well,
away.
he
knew
was
what
the
was
driver,
up.
just like Bert.
Yeah.
She knew what was up,
Mhm.
and obviously Bert was a hitman as well. So they have people for that. I don't know that Drummond that's his job, but they definitely do that. They made that clear. But I guess still, yeah. Do you think we'll see Irv again?
I hope so.
Mm,
Maybe he like gets off the bus and returns.
Maybe not in the next episode, but I'd have to imagine we'll see him in season 3.
He wants to help his friends that he loves because he loves his friends too.
who was he calling on the phone? 5
That's
weeks
right.
later, I
We don't
still
know.
want to know.
We don't
That's
know.
right.
Oh my
Yeah, so we
gosh.
have to see him again to
Yeah, what
figure out what that's
happened
about.
to that mystery?
Hmm.
Hmm. At
And where
least
do
I
we go
hope
from
that
here with Dylan's like storyline? What happens
oof,
to him in episode 10? There
I
could be
mean,
a
his
whole
knee
chance
quit.
that like the whole of episode 10 just focuses on the Mark storyline. Like we have not there's no reason to see Dylan or Irv until season 3 with where we left off with them.
I
It could
agree,
all
and they're
just
not
be
necessary
Mark.
for the file.
Yeah, Mark and Helena and Jamie Egan and Cobell and those people.
That is
Ugh.
quite possible, but I hope we get to see a peek of everyone, even if it's like a short scene.
Yeah.
And then I'll be okay if we get largely Mark, but I hope we get to see a little bit of everyone.
I just want to know
Yeah.
what Cobell's going to tell Mark and the audience. I
I
feel like
cannot
she's going to
wait.
drop them.
The episode
I feel,
name is Cold Harbor. We need to know what it means.
I think she's going to drop knowledge like right at the start of the episode, and it's just going to be like, whoosh, like
I hope
right
so.
from there, just action,
Yeah.
action.
I hope
What's going to happen? What's the
I
plan?
hope there's like no wasted moments.
Yeah.
They haven't really wasted our time this season, except maybe in that bottle episode with Cobell. And again, like it was just like my issue was just like the close-ups of water. I know what water looks like.
I don't like the cinnamon.
Stop.
Yeah, too much world building. Like I don't really care about Salt's Neck that much.
I
I
love
think
the
we
names
learned
of the
about the
cities.
drugs and we learned about like child labor and she was a child laborer.
Yeah, like
And that
we
was
needed to
important for
know the
you.
child labor thing, and we needed to know that she invented Severance, but
Mhm.
I don't need to like
I
be
guess
like,
that's why
there's
it
a
was.
town called Salt's Neck that really needs some turning around.
I guess that's why it was only 37 minutes.
Yeah.
We had to get those minutes back in the last episode, but I think we're winding down. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else
so.
going on?
I can't think of anything else.
Where is Kier? Why is there a 51st state? Is it part of America?
We keep. I think we've
Established that it's just another
it's another
an
Earth.
alternate universe.
Yeah.
What if Rickon's book shows up in the last episode and has a big part to do with Cold Harbor? His new book.
I'm excited for it. If they can explain it, I'm excited.
What if they use Rickon to mind control them to do whatever they need to do for the Cold Harbor?
Theories, guys.
I wish I knew what direction this was going in, but I genuinely don't.
It's
I'm
more
going to
fun
stick
this
to
way.
body
We
switching.
have a
I'm fine with
show.
it.
Yeah. We have our after show and our thoughts.
Yeah.
Too many questions.
One more.
Questions.
One mo. This is a long 10 weeks. Hope you guys had fun.
I did. I'm glad we covered
Yeah.
this show. It was better
Same.
than Silo.
It's
Yeah, Silo, we
definitely
just
better
ended up
than
talking
Silo.
about what we watched in the movie theater that week.
It sounds like y'all had a bad week at the movie theater.
No.
Well, Black Bag was good.
What is that?
It's a spy movie.
Yeah, British spy thriller
Yeah.
from Steven Soderbergh.
I thought it was fine. It's
only
another
90
short
minutes.
one. It's another short one. I would watch it again, but I would watch it again so that I could, because I feel like some things in there were kind of complex for me. And
I saw it at a drive-in, and there was some parts where it was hard. Yeah, I had never been before. It was cool, but there were some parts where it was a little hard to hear, and they were explaining like.
And the accents
But
for me,
I figured it out just
a little
from
hard.
context.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's a great movie. I think it would be the best on a plane. It's got like a cool, like quick,
sound
slick.
Like you think it's a great movie if it's a plane movie.
I mean, I gave it a 4, but if I saw it on a plane, it would be a 5. Yeah.
I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3 because like I was like engaged. I want to know what's going on. I want to find out. And I thought it looked like it was very glowy movie. Like every light source glowed a lot.
It had a cool look. It had a cool pace.
Yeah. It was very what's the word? It was very dialogue heavy. It's not an action movie, Age. And there's like a lot of like we're gonna sit down in the room and talk to each other. There's a lot of those scenes.
But there are like really high stakes. So the fact that there was no like action didn't deter me from being like really invested in every scene.
I was
Of all the
invested
movies you've
in a
mentioned,
lot
this
of it.
one sounds like the best.
I was
Yeah,
invested
I mean,
in a lot of it, but there are some things that I just couldn't really wrap my head around. And I feel like that's why I have to watch it again because it has to do with like a program that could get sold, and they're all liars. And you have to figure out who's lying, who's the mole. So yeah.
But it was good. Yeah, I think out of the movies I've seen in 2025, I've only given 2 of them a 4 out of 5, and it was this one in Companion.
Oh, I still need to see Companion.
It's
You did tell me to
online.
watch that.
Watch it, and
Fun.
it's another short one. That one is the only one that I've given a 5 out of 5, and it's because I literally could not think, how could this be better? I couldn't answer that question.
And it got better.
I had a hard time thinking of criticisms.
Like
for it.
you're entertained the whole time. Like something keeps happening, and you're like, okay.
It's moving the entire
That's the one that's like
time.
a tight 90 minutes, right?
There's a lot of good tight 90 minutes.
It's short.
90-minute movies. Black Bag was one, and Companion was one, and then Presence, not as good as those two, but it was also 90 minutes, and it was good.
But Presence and Black Bag have the same director,
Soderbergh.
He's so versatile.
Yeah,
I do love
he killed it.
Soderbergh did Drive.
I don't know.
He did not do Drive.
He does heist movies. So I rated Companion high. I rated Hard Eyes.
11.
Hard Eyes high, and I think after Hard Eyes, I think my highest one is Novocaine because I thought it was fun, even though there's flaws. I had fun with it.
Where are you guys seeing the advertisements for these movies? I promise you, I've never
at
been
the movies.
served.
Now that like I'm like trying to reach a goal, I'm like making sure I'm paying attention.
Yeah. Also, I have AMC A-list, so like every weekend I'm
too.
just like, what is in my app that is playing?
Yeah, I have the app. I have A-list, so I can get to the 25. So I'm just a bit more in the know for now.
This is a really good advertisement for AMC.
I know they're getting us. We should
A-list.
A-list.
Use promo code SailorTortilla for.
He did. I wish AMC, please. I want to go too. He did Magic Mike. Not the guy who did Drive.
Versatile man.
He's done 2 movies just this year.
Magic Mike is a bad movie. Magic Mike is a good movie.
Year. Q1 to Soderbergh.
I had to look up. I'm disappointed he's not doing a third tight 90-minute movie this year.
So he's not coming out with another one? No?
Not that I can see, no. But I was like, man, I hope he releases like 3 or 4 90-minute movies this year.
Make more 90-minute features. I keep begging filmmakers, make more of the short features, please.
I do love popcorn movies. Give me a good little tight popcorn movie. I'll be happy with it.
I'm there. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we covered Severance, a couple other movies. What am I watching? I'm still watching Solo Leveling. It comes out on Saturdays. I have the latest episode to watch. And that's it.
After this
and Frey Ren.
Watch Companion because it's short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch Companion.
Okay. I shall. So
entertaining. So
I appreciate it. Alrighty. With that, we're gonna go and do Sunday things. Bye.